Hey guys, welcome back to an interesting video on Wild Rift. So today we're back with a Kai'Sa supplementary guide, and we're going to be covering AP Kai'Sa today. As promised in my Kai'Sa updated complete guide a couple days ago, I did say this one was coming, and here it is. So obviously we can see the build is pretty updated from the last one, a lot of big changes to the AP Kai'Sa build, and this build is kind of amazing, so let's get straight into it. So first up, as I mentioned, we're going to start off with Terminus. Terminus is just an amazing item for Kai'Sa. She gets pretty okay stats from Terminus. 30% attack speed, 40 AD is not the best in the world. Amazing build path though, and you get basically the amazing passive. So first up, you deal 35 on-hit magic damage per attack. And remember that Kai'Sa's passive already deals on-hit magic damage naturally, so it just adds more on-hit magic damage to your kit, which of course in this AP build is going to be really good. You also get the stacking armor and magic resist, which for Kai'Sa again is really good because you like to 1v1 people as an ADC, and getting the stacking resistances helps you win the 1v1. Obviously the armor and magic pen is really good for Kai'Sa because even whether you build AD or you build AP, Kai'Sa will always do hybrid damage because obviously if you build AD, you have your on-hit magic damage from not only Terminus but also your passive, and your passive proc when you stack up the plasma also is magic damage. And of course if you build AP, your autos do on-hit magic damage, but it's still of course mainly AD, and you know, just things like that. So basically Kai'Sa always is going to do both damage. So Terminus is always going to be an amazing item for Kai'Sa and really good first item. So of course you rush your first item to get the Q evolve as fast as possible. Only after that do you go for Gluttonous Grease, which of course gives you 35 AD and 7% Omnivamp. Now of course the Omnivamp, as I said, same logic with Terminus. Omnivamp and Kai'Sa always going to be good because you do mix damage all the time. And then we go into Nash's Tooth, our first AP item. Of course at this point, having 2 AD items at the beginning, this is going to be an AD item as well for now. But this is going to give you attack speed as well as ability haste. And with the passive, the non-passive, you're going to deal more on-hit magic damage. So you can already see Kai'Sa has innate on-hit magic damage. You have on-hit magic damage from Nash's Tooth as well as Terminus. And then you go into Infinity Orb. So Infinity Orb obviously gives you just a large amount of AP, both percent and flat magic pen. And of course you are going to be able to do abilities and empowered attacks crit for 20% bonus damage against enemies below 45% HP. So don't forget that your empowered attacks does include your auto attack. So your auto attack with that on-hit magic damage can actually crit as well. Now of course the main ability you really want to crit is your Q. So when they're below half HP and you Q them, all of those missiles are going to crit and do extra damage. So that's going to be amazing. And then we go for Riftmaker, which is going to be of course gives you the Omnivamp as well as the true damage after 4 seconds in combat, and a lot of nice stats as well. And finally of course we had the Death Cap for that huge boost in AP. Now honestly the last 3 items, the order can be kind of shifted around, so you can go for something like this instead. You could also go for let's say something like this, I mean, you know, it kind of a little bit depends on your preference, but I think this order is pretty good. So now for the runes, I like to go for Lethal Tempo, because honestly, despite the fact that you can assassinate people, especially with the Infinity Orb, you still are auto-attacking a lot and sending the backline a lot just to auto-attack, and of course waiting for an opportunity to assassinate people. So Lethal Tempo attack speed still just really good. Brutal, because again you still auto-attack quite a bit. Giant Slayer generally is the highest value rune here, and here we go for Bloodline because we already have quite a bit of attack speed from Lethal Tempo as well as our first couple items. And for the second rune, you can go for Hex Splash or Bone Plating. Now I do generally prefer Bone Plating. I think that Bone Plating on Kai'Sa is honestly really good just for the 1v1 and just, you know, in general. But Hex Splash of course always has value because it's basically just a dash. And of course, the summoner spells are going to be flashed together with Exhaust. Of course, Exhaust is essential for the 1v1. And with all that said, let's hop into taking a look at our gameplay. Okay, so now hopping into our gameplay itself. Now here we're playing with a Maokai support, and as we all know, Maokai is kind of a little bit broken at the moment. So we'll see how that, you know, really helps us and helps our team. But in general, Kai'Sa likes playing with an engaged support to, of course, stack up her passive. At least that's what I prefer. But in reality, Kai'Sa also works very well with Enchantress because she is, of course, a hyper carry as well who can, of course, you know, benefit a lot from getting buffed. So here, Caitlyn just walks straight into our bush for some reason and takes a huge chunk of damage. A really bad trade from her. Nautilus tries to compensate by stepping up to help her, and he basically gets his passive gets my passive proc on him, so now they're both like half HP, so amazing start to the game. Honestly, I think if Maokai flashed and you know, pushed the Caitlyn towards me, I think we would have killed. Speaking of kill, Nautilus here hooks in and dies, and Caitlyn tries to trade the kill onto me, but unfortunately I got my W there, so I was able to quickly stack up the passive onto the Caitlyn and pick up the kill on her as well. So really close there. I'm not gonna lie, it's really close there in terms of it could have easily been they get 2 kills instead of we get 2 kills, but we win out on the 2v2. I grab 2 kills and already have a BF sword 1 minute into the game, and yeah, we are definitely gonna see if we can snowball off of that BF sword buy. A BF sword obviously 40 AD, which is the same amount as the entire Terminus gives you, by the way. So a BF sword, one of the best you know, mid-tier items that you can get, which is why Terminus is a very strong first item as well, because you can build out of recurve bow and BF sword, which is all really good. Now Maokai flashes forward to engage on the Caitlyn. Caitlyn's taking a bunch of damage from me, 1 HP. I flash forward to finish the kill. Nautilus now finds himself in a little bit of a spot of bother, but he is of course tanky enough to just walk it off. Gets his whole shield broken, and here unfortunately Kayn comes with the gank, so I'm gonna commit onto the kill on the Nautilus because I know I'm not gonna escape the gank from the Kayn. So the best I can really do here is to get the kill onto the Nautilus, and Maokai is able to fend off the Kayn, and Kayn does not get a second kill. Big mistake from the Kayn here, by the way. He has a longsword as well as the boots. He should have been going for Shimmering Spark in this case. If you guys don't know why, basically it's because you can stack up your phone faster. I covered that in my Kayn complete guide, so I'm gonna actually link it up in the cards for you guys to check out right here to see you know, if you guys are interested in actually playing Kayn. So here we're now actually back into the lane already, of course, and Maokai hiding in the bush, channeling Hex Splashes forward onto the Maokai. A little bit of the wrong target there. I also hit the wrong target onto the Nautilus. I mean, and yeah, we don't quite get the kill onto Caitlyn, but of course remembering that Maokai does have Hex Splash, Expanding Flash, not a big deal whatsoever. Now, I do have enough to get Terminus, so generally, whenever you have enough to get your first item completion, you want to back almost immediately. Now, unless you're in a situation where the enemy team has pushed an entire wave under your tower and you have to CS, otherwise you generally just want to back almost regardless of the situation, or unless of course you want to make it to a fight, then maybe you kind of just have to stick around for that. But otherwise, as far as possible, you always want to get your first item evolved as quickly as you can. Now, here Caitlyn and Nautilus actually recall, either they recall in time or they actually recall on the tower, because I tried to hit the W into the bush to interrupt the recall, which is where I thought they'd be, but turns out they weren't there. I think likely is that they recalled in time. Anyways, here this gives us opportunity to pick up some tower plates. We have Yasuo for some reason roaming here when there's no enemy in the lane, but we do get 2 plates, 150 gold for me and my support each. Beautiful, and of course we have a huge lead against Caitlyn, 1.5k. Caitlyn gets caught again. Nautilus not quite ready, you know, to help out here. Not the Maokai ult comes in, and we are able to chunk out both Caitlyn and Nautilus by, you know, quite a little bit. Of course, Nautilus has been letting me proc my passive on him and proc the plasma stacks. Nice flash comes in from the Caitlyn to avoid the Maokai Q and getting pushed back. Here again, I'm honestly just attacking Nautilus to stack up my lethal tempo, and at the same time, of course, deal damage to him obviously makes sense as well. But obviously, Nautilus is not the easiest to kill. I mean, we have killed him like, I think, once or twice. We have killed him twice actually, but I mean, he is tanky, but of course he can still die. Just not the easiest target in the world to hit. Now, Dragon and not Baron, Rift Herald are spawning real soon, and we are able to back and pick up our boots. So with boots and first item, you know, we are going to be ready for any fight that could occur at either objective. Of course, if Rift Herald is the objective being contested, we aren't exactly going to be there. We might be there in patch 5.2 though, because if you guys haven't seen the news, there are gonna be hex gates and a lot of changes. We'll of course talk more about that, you know, either like when the patch preview comes or when the patch itself comes out. Here Nautilus is running straight at me, ults me, but Caitlyn is in nowhere close to follow up. Kayn comes in instead. I'm able to finish off the Nautilus because the enemy team was honestly completely uncoordinated there. Kayn was not there in time, and Caitlyn was way too far away. Nautilus pulls the trigger just like maybe a second or two too early. I think if he waited for another second or so, he might have probably would have been able to get us killed. However, there is also the argument that if we see Nautilus, we're going to immediately back off. So, you know, you could also say that he kind of didn't have too much of a choice. So our Shen, who is the jungler by the way, is doing the dragon. So here we're trying to help out. Here I actually dodged the King W, exhaust him for good measure. Of course, he does not yet have form, I believe. Here the root comes in. Again, I'm just free hitting onto... at first it was the Nautilus, but now I'm hitting onto the Kayn, who is 1 HP. Yeah, we're just going to easily kill him. He already had 4 stacks of passive prior to going ulting into the Maokai, so definitely going to be a free kill for us there the moment he comes out. And we also pick up the dragon. And by the way, in the meanwhile, while that was happening, Yasuo was actually doing the Herald. So Yasuo actually got the Herald. So our team gets both objectives. We get a couple of kills as well. I'm like by far the most goal in the game by a country mile. I mean, Yone is actually 5-0 by the way. I'm 1k goal up on our Yone. So yeah, we have a lot of goal. We've been getting tower plays. We've been getting minions. We've been getting kills. And things like that. So we're really far ahead this game. 2k gold plus ahead of the Caitlyn, so we're definitely in the position that we want to be in, where we can easily carry our team. Of course, this is the kind of position where you don't want to make you know, mistakes, because you're gonna give a huge shutdown to the enemy team. Actually, technically, we don't really even have a huge shutdown anymore, because we got killed when we were at 4 kills, dying to the gank from Kayn. But even so, obviously, regardless of whether you have a shutdown or not, you never want to die anyway. So we definitely want to you know, play it safe. And our whole team, no one is really feeding. Everyone is doing well, and that's what we like to see. Ulting in here to finish off the Caitlyn. She has one more auto attack away. She made a mistake by stopping that at Q. Now I'm getting chain CC'd here by Caitlyn, Trap, Nautilus, and as well as the Asol, third ability. And here Maokai goes back in with the help of Shen's shield, gets the huge healing from the passive, and a huge like tower dive is happening here. Yasuo is now in. Kills the Nautilus, however, Maokai dies to the tower. Shen is now tanking the tower, and Rift Herald gets rid of the tower. Yasuo misses the knockup because Kayn gets off a relatively good ult. I say relatively because it wasn't that great of an ult, but it did allow him to dodge the Yasuo tornado. So if that was the goal, then that was a good ult, but it kind of depends on whether that was intentional or not. Otherwise, that was kind of a bad ult. But you know, results-based analysis says that it's pretty good because he did dodge the Yasuo tornado, which would have spelled death because Yasuo would have ulted him. And here we're just going to hit over to mid lane. Since Yasuo was in the bot lane, he has now rotated to mid though. We're just going to but we're just going to focus the mid lane tower together with him. Now Yasuo's getting engaged on by like 3 people. However, I am able to trade the kill onto the Nautilus as the Yasuo dies in the middle of 3 people. I mean, honestly, not much I could really do to help him there aside from trade the kill, because obviously I can't be jumping into 3 people and helping him out either, because I'm going to die as well. Now here, I'm waiting for the assassination on Asol. I honestly thought I had it. I flashed forward for try to finish him off, but unfortunately I Q'd just maybe a fraction of a second too early, because my Q went half onto the Aurelion and half onto a minion. Now if it didn't go onto the minion, obviously you can see I would have killed him there, because he was literally 1 HP, almost couldn't even see his health bar. But I definitely had the good or correct damage estimation there. I knew I could kill him if I hit my W on him, which is exactly what I went for. Unfortunately, I did not quite get it. So here Nautilus ends up face checking a bush, gets caught between 3 people, and he goes down. Yone ult comes in, catches the Caitlyn. I'm able to finish the kill. Shen ult is coming in onto me, but the fight is kind of pretty much over at this point. Appreciate the ult from Shen though. And now we are going to try to get this tier 2 tower, which shouldn't be too much of an issue. There is a split push going on from the Malphite on the opposite side of the map, who is 0 and 4, and can't really contribute too much to the game except his ulti to help set up his team, but he decides that split pushing is his best course of action instead. So he's pretty committed to the split push, now trying to getting stopped by Yone a little bit. Yasuo picks up the tier 2 in the mid lane as well, and honestly it's slowly becoming a little bit of a one-sided affair. Everyone on our team is kind of doing well, at least well against their counterpart, except for the Shen, who is behind in goal versus the Kayn, but Shen is a tank, whereas Kayn is a carry, so that is completely forgivable. Shen 0-0 and 6 has been helping us out quite a bit with those ults. Now, a fight is breaking out here in the river. The Yasuo does get taken now. Maokai ult comes in. I'm trying to see if I can assassinate anybody. Flash forward comes in here. I'm gonna ult and finish off the kill onto the Malphite. Now I'm kiting back, and for some reason the Caitlyn decides to just run away from me. I'm now just going onto the whoever the next target is. Caitlyn now gets caught. Now I'm going to try to chase down. Now honestly, if this was anybody but an ASO, like without that stupid like black hole thing, I think this would have been a penta kill for me. It's the ASO, the black hole just sucked me in continuously, and I could not escape it for the longest time, as you guys saw there. So couldn't get into range to finish off the rest of the kills, which if it was somebody else, I probably would have been able to do. Even if I got CC'd by something, like even if I got stunned like for a second, that would have been better than getting sucked into that black hole for like a good 2 plus 3 seconds. Anyways, here I'm more or less soloing the dragon. The Shen does come by to secure it though, because obviously Kayn is still alive, so we can't have the ADC soloing it when the enemy jungler is still alive. So next up, we're just going to recall and get some items maybe. I guess not, because we spot guess not, because we're really close to getting our Riftmaker. So in this particular game, I decided to actually get the Prophet's Pendant into the Riftmaker because I felt that the Riftmaker would be more valuable in this game, simply because we're having a lot of front-to-back fights where I'm just staying in the backline and just DPSing. So I felt Riftmaker is a lot better for this purpose, whereas Infinity Orb is a lot more useful for assassinating. So it kind of depends on what you really want and how the match is going. In this match, I see a lot of team fights happening, which is why I'm thinking that Riftmaker is probably going to be better. Very aggressive positioning from the Maokai there. But yeah, of course Maokai 0, 1, and 15, super duper tanky. Has the Heart Steal as well as a Frozen Heart. Now here we do get the Riftmaker, which gives us our final evolve, which is going to be our W. And didn't really mention this, but even though you are going for AP, you want to evolve QE then W, because W evolve generally gives you the least value. You do get the increased plasma stacks and the decreased cooldown, but the E and Q value is just so much higher. Now here, Caitlyn gets caught, instantly assassinated by my entire team basically. And the next target is going to be the Nautilus. I exhaust the Kayn, and the Shen ult comes in to actually save me from the Kayn. I think without the Shen ult, I probably died to the Kayn there, so Shen definitely did save my life right there. And now with the help of our Gluttonous Greaves and our Riftmaker, we are trying to just lifesteal. Here I'm actually picking for Baron because the enemy bot lane is down and we could easily go for a Baron, but my team decides they want to fight instead. So here we are kind of, honestly in my opinion, kind of trolling here by fighting here. I'm just focusing the Malphite, who is pretty low, but yeah. My whole team basically just ends up kind of dying here. I'm going to flash away from the Kayn. And the Maokai E, actually, the sapling, actually finishes off the kill on Kayn, which is pretty funny. I don't really think I would have gotten the kill otherwise anyway, so, that is completely fine. And now we're finally going to recall, and here we actually pick up a QSS, because there is a decent amount of CC on the enemy team. We of course have Nautilus, we have Caitlyn Trap, and mainly the most annoying one, the Elemental E, and we have Malphite. But honestly, the chances of you like QSSing a Malphite out is quite slim, unless the Malphite makes it so obvious by just running at you and then ulting. But it's really hard to QSS a Malphite out, so not really quite for Malphite. Speaking of which, a fight's breaking on the mid lane. Yoning is going down, Shen is taking heavy damage, and we're trying to help him out here. We out onto the ASO, who is 1 HP. And now we're focusing the two tanks. They can't really kill me. Kayn, however, can. And the Shen ult once again saves my life for the second time against the Kayn. Here I pick up a triple, and Caitlyn and Nautilus are running for the hills. They definitely don't want to give me Penta, but they don't want to die either, because if they do, the game is pretty much lost. I mean, the game could be lost for them regardless. The engage comes in from the Maokai, and Caitlyn does go down, followed by the Nautilus, and followed by their base, honestly. So here we're just going to try to focus the base. And here, unfortunately, we run on minions, and I make the mistake of walking too far in. So I tank 3 tower shots, and I die. And then next target is the Shen. Shen tanks 2 tower shots, nearly dies. Maokai gets CC'd under the tower and dies as well. And the AoE from the ulti of the ASO does end up killing the Shen. And now Yasuo is on the run, flashes over, blast plants over. Unfortunately for him, he's facing Kayn and ASO, 2 champions that can run over walls, or I mean, in one is run through the wall, and in the other case is fly over the wall. But either which way, it's really hard to run from these 2 people. So basically, my whole team dies there, and we end up basically throwing the game. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what to say about it. Now Baron is up, so the enemy team should be doing Baron if they are smart about it. Honestly, despite the throw, I'm not too worried. I'm not too worried about the outcome of this game. I mean, if we don't throw again, the game is still basically won, because there's not a lot the enemy team can really do, against us, because we're still very, very far ahead, despite the fact that they got Baron. So here you can see the auto text critting, by the way, and here of course we're gonna let the Shen get the buff. I mean, he has saved our life twice, and also we can just share the buff with him, so why not? So now you can see, yeah, you can see the auto text critting again for like 40 crit damage, which is really kind of negligible, but of course we don't do really that much on hit damage. Now here, looks like the enemy team is kind of in the vicinity of where we are. Here I'm trying to ult in to kill the Aso. Aso actually flies away. Huge Malphite ult goes in onto 5, and I'm getting assassinated on the back line by Kayn. I exhaust him, flash away, and I actually am saved by Yone coming to kill Kayn. And here, now we're just playing front to back and just DPSing whoever we can. And the whole enemy team is dying, so as I mentioned, I'm not really too worried about the outcome of the game. Aso's the last man standing. He can't really defend the base by himself, so all we gotta really do is to shove in the wave and end the game. Now, unfortunately, Yone goes in very, very deep for the kill onto Aso, which is not really the play. And as mentioned, we basically just end the game right here. So, of course, as usual, I'm going to leave you guys with the stats. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.